The ball challenged by Carlos Soler. Gabriel, of course, gets involved. Ainsley Maitland-Niles backing up his teammate. It spoils what should have been a fantastic celebration for the Gunners.
And it's a big win for Arsenal, who together are heading for Azerbaijan in 3 weeks' time. They will be just that one step away from winning a European trophy. A hat-trick from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, in addition to a goal by Alexandre Lacazette, has given Arsenal a comfortable victory on the night and an even more comfortable win overall. And we'll be seeing many of those Arsenal supporters in Baku at the end of the month. Job done in Valencia. Final score, Valencia 2, Arsenal 4. Arsenal win 7-3 on aggregate.
Baku, here we come. We have booked our place in the Europa League final. Now, before we get the reaction from Adrian and Jim in the studio, Mesut Ozil has a word for everybody watching. There you go. Just simply, that's all he needs to do, isn't it? Gents, how are we feeling? Absolute relief. We are in the Europa League final.
Yeah, I'm delighted. You couldn't really have asked for more in that second half. It was a really, really strong performance from Arsenal. It's just nice to see them comfortably knocking the ball about at the end of a game after having comfortably won it. And it feels like a long time since Arsenal have played with that sort of verve away from home. And I'm delighted. And I actually feel really confident for the final now, seeing them play like that and turn it on at just the right time.
Yeah, we were looking for a performance to be proud of, weren't we, from the team? And they delivered it in the second half. It wasn't brilliant in the first half. Up against it, under the cosh, looking a bit fragile, but they got together, didn't they? And they stayed strong, and look, they used their best assets in the second half, those two guys up front, Lacazette and Aubameyang. Absolutely awesome performance from those two. But in general, everything was better in the second period, and Valencia huffed and puffed, but they didn't really threaten us as much as anticipated. The scoreline, in the end, does not flatter us. I think we deserve to win that game 4-2. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they really brought the heat in the second half, but one man in particular really did blow our socks off. It was, of course, Aubameyang. He bagged himself a hat-trick, and loads of you, understandably, have been sending us loads of love for Oba. Oba's best ever game for Arsenal, hands down. That's from Zach. Thanks for getting in touch. Another tweet here from Andy Gold. Oba's mentality and desire tonight has been I can't get my words out, exemplary. A lot of the squad need to look at him as a leader and follow his standard. He really has been sublime tonight. Jim, what do you make of Oba's performance this evening?
Oh, we completely agree. I think that's been his best performance in an Arsenal shirt. I think he led really well. He had that slick kind of gazelle-like glide that a lot of the really top players have tonight, and particularly later on in the second half when Valencia were there for the taking, he made sure that the game was wrapped up and put to bed with panache. And yeah, this is exactly the right time for him to be in this sort of form, and I wouldn't want to play against him at the moment. So that's handy for Baku.
So we said in the pre-match show that it was Lacazette potentially that would be leading the team through the way he plays the game. But actually, is it fair to say that Aubameyang kind of stepped up to that position?
I think they both did. Let's give Lacazette credit for the second goal. That was a big goal, huge goal, and it was a proper centre-forwards goal. He baxed into the defender. He says, "Get off," rolls him, whips it into the bottom corner. And I think from that moment on, Arsenal knew they were going to make it. So that was a big goal. But no, they both led tonight, I think. Aubameyang as well. But just by his actions, as the people on social media have been saying, his work rate was terrific. And it's not a surprise to see it, but I do feel that his effort levels or determination levels were more visible tonight than they have been in a lot of other matches. So, yeah, he was hungry, wasn't he? And, wow, hat-trick in a semi-final. I mean, you can't top that, really, can you? Well, you can. Score a hat-trick in the final.
Yeah, that would be nice, actually, wouldn't it? No pressure, Aubameyang. Right, now, understandably, loads of you have been sending in lots of love for Aubameyang and Lacazette, the way they've been linking up, not just tonight, but throughout the season as well. Dylan said, life with Aubameyang and Lacazette is so much much easier. Don't we agree with that? Another tweet here then, Aubameyang and Lacazette do this in a team with barely any creativity in the build-up. It's incredible, saving our season. And another tweet here, I think this was before the last few goals went in. Just summing up the unbelievable relationship that those two have, really. They really are sublime together. We spoke at half-time about the relationship they have off the pitch, but they've got a hell of a relationship on the pitch as well.
Yeah, they have, yeah. And they have dominated the European games, haven't they? You need your big players to step up. That's what they get paid the big bucks for. They're strikers, they're world-class strikers, on big salaries. They're paid to deliver on nights like this, and they have, haven't they? So well done to the pair of them. Let's hope they can go and do it in the final. I wouldn't say we're a side with zero creativity, but that is definitely something we need to work on moving forward. I don't think we have enough imagination in the side at the moment. So what they're doing, considering what's behind them is quite functional, is very impressive.
Jim, how impressed were you with the way Oba and Laka linked up this evening?
Just, again, I think it's been the best I've seen them link up. Lacazette himself said recently that because they get on so well, because they understand how the other thinks, and they both feel that gives them an advantage on the pitch because they have an idea of once they lay the ball off where they need to be to get it back. And you saw that in action over and over again tonight. And there's a real dynamism between them as well. Like, you know, Laka holding the ball up so well, and now Aubameyang having this diversity and the range of finishing that he has. And it's such a brilliant weapon. Yeah,
I said at half-time, do you remember? I said, it depends on Emery's mindset, what he does with Aubameyang. I said, we all want him to stay up front, and if he's feeling bold and positive, Emery will keep him up front. If he's worried about what Valencia are doing, he might shunt him to the wing. He didn't do that. He was positive, Unai Emery, and what paid off, didn't it? Because those two playing up top together absolutely destroyed Valencia second half. So well done to those guys, but also Emery for avoiding the temptation to tinker with the team.
Maybe you tuned in to Arsenal Nation Live at half-time, you never know. Now, elsewhere in the Europa League, Chelsea and Frankfurt are now into added time, so it remains to be seen who will be facing in the final, but we'll come on to that later on. But we are going to talk about Cech now. We've got a tweet here. Cech, he'll be calm. He'll be a calm head, and the man has the experience of playing at the biggest stage. It will be a dream farewell for him if we manage to win the final. But the question is, will he play? So my question to you, Jim, is Leno or Cech?
I think it will be Cech. I think to play this whole competition and to then lose out on the final would be, I think that'd be a surprising move from Emery. And I agree with what Adrian said earlier. I imagine he'll play against Burnley as well. I don't think Leno would mind that, given that he's not featured in the competition up to now. And I think that consistency there within this competition, I feel that does make a difference. Means that for me, Cech would be the obvious choice as well.
Yeah, no, I don't know if he would definitely play against Burnley now that we're through. I think he would have done if we'd have lost. It might make sense to play him actually against Burnley, just to tune him up in terms of match practice. Yeah, be interested to see what happens there. But no, he should definitely play. I mean, there's not much in it anyway. First and foremost, I don't like the idea of cup keepers, so I would always go with my best team, and probably Leno would be. Well, he would be in my first 11, but given the circumstance and what Jim just outlined, it would be incredibly cruel to leave him out of the final, wouldn't it? I don't see Unai Emery doing that.
No, I don't think so either, but certainly an interesting talking point. Now, that was one hell of a scoreline this evening. We did say there must be something in the air. Were you expecting that?
Was I expecting a 4-2 win? No, no, maybe for Valencia, but not for us. No, it was a pleasant surprise. It really was. I was really impressed. I thought the second half was excellent. And I was just saying to Jim off air, why can't we do that at Wolves, or at Leicester, any of these places? We played with that much sort of pizzazz up front, a little bit. It wasn't spectacular at the back or in midfield, but we didn't get pulled around. We didn't make silly mistakes. We were fairly compact. We did the basics pretty well tonight, and then let the front two explode into action. That, I think, there's nothing wrong with that policy.
Yeah, the word you used a lot was efficient. Yeah, as we were watching the game, and that's absolutely right. And I guess having the quality of Aubameyang and Lacazette, who are players that, you know, a half chance for most players is a chance for them, saw us through tonight. But it was great to see Arsenal be a bit ruthless and enjoy sticking the boot in almost. Enjoy taking another team apart. Like, gone was the sort of timid Arsenal away performance that we've seen too much of this season, and it's perfect timing.
Now we're going to wrap the show in the same way we always do by asking you both to sum up tonight's game in just one word. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Adrian's already smiling.
Well, I forgot we were going to do this. Awesome. It was awesome, wasn't it?
It was.
Fun.
I love that. It was awesome and fun. Yeah, for once. It was an absolutely fantastic scoreline, a brilliant performance from both Lacazette and Aubameyang, who, as we mentioned, did bag a hat-trick. So they will certainly be very happy men this evening. So we are heading to Baku. We have made it into the Europa League final. We don't know who we'll be facing yet. It will either be Frankfurt or Chelsea. Now, gents, thank you so much for joining us. Adrian and Jim, you've been fantastic as always. Don't forget, we will be back on Arsenal Nation Live on Sunday for the final time this season. It is, of course, the last Premier League game. We'll be taking on Burnley away, so do make sure you join us then. Bye for now.